I'm so excited for the video today, everyone. I think this is going to be one of the most empowering videos I've made in a while, since the last video about depression and anxiety. I think this is going to be one of the most empowering things you hear all day, and hopefully it is. That's my mission, my goal with this video, is to create the most empowering words in this video that you hear all day. So I'll tell you how I came about this idea right now. I woke up, let's say 4 o'clock, pre-market, made breakfast about 7:30. Went to the gym at 8, came home, did my meditation for a half hour, feeling good, right? Having a great day. And I was thinking to myself, what can I do for my fellow human? There's so much shit going on right now. So I thought to myself, what can I do from a productivity standpoint for my fellow human? And I thought, what better way to grow as a person? I'm reading the book Flow, which is slightly about philosophy, slightly about psychology, and a lot about fulfillment. So this all came together, and I was like, my last video that did numbers was the depression is fake, anxiety is a choice. Clickbait, obviously, I said it was clickbait plenty of times. And then I had people respond that literally, like, one person made a response video that could not have proved my point better when you look at the paradigm and stuff. I had a lot of good feedback on that video. I'm very happy about that video and getting that out there for everyone. So that did phenomenal. And in relation to this book I'm reading, I was like, I can empower somebody today with this thought. Get over themselves. So here we go. Depression and anxiety are just a form of narcissism. This is beautiful. In the last video, I had a bunch of people look up your stuff before you speak. Took all that with a grain of salt. But let's look at depression. The definition of depression when we look it up. Feelings of severe despondency and dejection. Self-doubt creeps in. A mental condition characterized by feelings of severe... Can I speak English today? Feelings of severe despondency and dejection, typically also with feelings of inadequacy or guilt, often accompanied by lack of energy and disturbance of appetite. So feelings of inadequacy or guilt, thinking of self inadequacy that creates those feelings. Mental condition characterized by those feelings. Now let's look at narcissist. A person who has an excessive interest in or an admiration of themselves. Narcissists who think the world revolves around them. Narcissists preening themselves in front of the mirror. So with these definitions, I don't want it to look like it's a stretch. But the reason I saw the correlation was because thinking the world revolves around them, excessive interest in themselves. So not necessarily admiration, because if we're talking about guilt, feelings of guilt, that's not self-admiration. However, it's the feeling of over-exuded importance, let's call it. Whether it's social anxiety in a crowd, thinking people are looking at you, when realistically no one's looking at you, or if you're a guy in high school going to try and talk to a girl that you see at a party or at the bar in college, whatever the case may be, you see a girl in public that you think is attractive and you want to pull, and having social anxiety about that. Or even in severe cases, if we go back to the depression side of just feeling guilt or inadequacy, like feeling like you're not enough, it tends to stem, again, I love how empowering this is going to be. So I'm very excited. These feelings of inadequacy come from self-focus, self-obsessiveness, like obsessing over self. Whereas this is the money line right here. This is all the empowerment. If you weren't, again, every single one of my videos I talk about is only me talking to myself and the mistakes that I've made. So please learn from my mistakes. But all feelings of anxiety or depression, in either case, are when you're focused too much on yourself versus what you could do for other people. When you're all in on helping others and being the best version of yourself, through habits that are good, through creation, production, productivity, giving, serving, doing things for other people, whether you care about them or not. You can't focus on the two at the same time. When you're all in on focusing on how can I bring the best product, service, myself to the world, how can, regardless if you have faith or not, if you think we just die at the end, whatever the case may be, whatever your view on life is. If you have faith, it's even better, because then, like, the people I know with faith have done numbers of excellent things, even after being in traumatic experiences. Like, I'm going to go over multiple specific examples of where I've seen this. the opposite of this, where when people have had actually traumatic, and so I completely understand traumatic experiences. I haven't had to go through them, so I don't understand them themselves, but I understand that that's a different situation versus these. Someone reached out the other day, and they were talking about like he searched fake depression and anxiety because these kids that they lay in bed all day and they say I'm depressed, I'm anxious, that have had nothing traumatic happen to them. I'm not here to judge. The whole point of this video is to empower you, but I think we live in I think society has created too much mental softness, and people don't have the fortitude that they need to survive, to not only survive life but thrive. So that's why I'm making this video, so that you can thrive, so you can have the best possible life, so I can have the best possible life I can imagine. And I hope to empower you, which again, this is the whole point of this video, because you are so powerful, and I love knowing that in my soul, in my gut. So back to where I see the correlation. When you're focusing on yourself, you're not focusing on giving. You're not focusing on serving others. You're not focusing on like giving what you have to contribute to others. You're being selfish. You're worrying about, oh, I don't feel good today. Oh, I don't want to risk social embarrassment. So one, like the thing that always has helped me in things that I don't want to do, whether it's taking a freezing cold shower or a lake plunge or going to the gym early in the morning, like anything that I don't desire doing in a low level state, when I know these things would put me in a better state, whether it's gratitude, meditation, whatever the case may be, or specifically pain related things. Or associated pain things. You're not gonna fucking die, bro. For example, going to a party that you're socially anxious about. You're not gonna die. What's the worst case? The worst case scenario is that you're embarrassed. And which again goes back to the narcissism, thinking that you matter. We are less than a speck in the universe. Like we're so little to nothing. And I'm not trying to be naive and say, oh, like we're nothing, so life doesn't matter and any of that stuff. But in the big picture, in the aggregate, in all of the universe and all of space and time and everything, you're less than you're not even a blip on the radar. So if you approach things with that mentality, it doesn't matter. You take away the fear of failure, and you don't have to worry about these social anxiety things. I feel like the deepest fear is death. I don't. Everybody dies, obviously, so we're being even more naive to worry about death, because every single person that's ever lived has also died, or has been born and has also died, but not necessarily lived. But let's think of, I'm trying to find a way for all of us to hedge these risks, these anxiety risks, these depressive risks, whatever the case may be. I'm trying to find a way for us to hedge, and a mindset, a paradigm. So we can say, okay, I want to stay in bed and be depressed because then I get attention or whatever. I don't want to go to the gym because I'm concerned about that. I don't want to try because then if I start trying, my parents are going to kick me out because I have concerns about, trying to think of examples I've talked to people about. I have concerns about being kicked out. So if I don't try, at least then I get to have a comfort level of staying home. Or I want to stay in bed all day because even if I try, it's not going to be good enough anyway. I understand these are depressed states. We both are on the same page with this. It's okay. We're at this line right now, right? This is where we are currently. You are here. What would be ideal for us to be to next? Because I don't necessarily want to use the word desire, but even if, let's go to desire. What would be the best case scenario state for us to go to next? Would to be worse? Is that what we would like and enjoy? To be even worse than just having a social anxiety and not wanting to leave the room type shit, or not wanting to make sales calls type stuff, or not wanting to work and get a job and have to deal with customers because we're afraid that they might yell at us. You're not going to die. That's the hedge. It's not going to kill you. And if that's the case, then what's your risk? Somebody telling you no, somebody making you feel shitty? It'll toughen you up. You're not going to fucking die. You're not. It's gonna suck, but you can handle it. And having the courage to go through these things that scare you, that's the fucking win of life. That's literally that's how to win in life. Find what fucking scares you and just run at it. Not naively, not uncalculated risks. Even in life, it takes away all of these challenges, these feeling challenges that you have. I guess I'm not gonna go over examples like I said I would. Okay, I'll close with one example. I have somebody that I would consider close to me in my network, who had very, very difficult traumatic health problems last year that cost, I believe, millions of dollars in expenses to cover these health problems. And then also had a family member die immediately after, before or after, one of the two. Extremely traumatic year from this person that I deeply cherish. I could not name, I don't think, except for one of my best friends, a more, and I wouldn't put one over the other, I'm just saying, like, could not be more badass of a human being after what's happened, because they could have gone the exact opposite route. They could have gone straight downhill. They could have gone, there's no purpose to life. Why is God doing this to me? Fear, guilt, anger, like all these low level of consciousness things. I could not be more amazed at her character and what her daily habits are, what she's doing, what she's accomplishing with her life after these traumatic experiences happen. And I don't think she's doing it as revenge. I think and even if it is to get herself in the short term, to get herself in a better headspace, than it would be to not do anything, to just be sad, to mope around and be like, woe is me, this happened to me. The habits I see her taking, the actions she's taking are absolutely incredible. And if she can do it, anybody else can. Even if the traumatic experiences are right. The best example I would say, every single person I've ever talked to with anxiety and depression, I send to the Tony Robbins documentary on Netflix, and every single one of them cry. And it's absolutely phenomenal, and it's changed every single person that I've sent it to's life, I believe, based on what they said. Just some of them just come out and be like, this changed everything for me. So let's close with that. That's my final thought. Lastly, again, I hope this audio is nothing but empowering to you. I would love to talk more. Best way to get a hold of me is email me at summitsme@gmail.com, or like everyone else did, leave a comment below. Love you all. I'll see you in the next video.